People, what a night of boxing. Brian Norman Jr., Mikaela Meyer, and William Zepeda all defended their titles successfully yesterday. And all of these fights were good, man. All of them took place inside of a phone booth. All of the champions were trading leather. They were fights that they were all explosive in their own way. Different type of fights, but they were all explosive. LLYY, what's the deal, my brother? Bam, first one in the building. Catch them fights yesterday, my G. It was a lot of action, a lot of punches. William P, good morning, my guy. Good morning, my brother. JJ Zendejas, good morning. What's the deal, my peoples? Yo, I didn't know if I was going to come on today because my throat from yesterday, all the yelling and shit, but here we are. Them fights, my peoples. What y'all thought about them fights from yesterday, man? Exciting night for boxing. LLYY. My bad for not pulling up last night. It's a different time zone. I was waiting for the 7 p.m. Eastern time stream. Yeah, so on fight night, I actually don't get to stream at 7 p.m. I wait for the fights to come on, and that's when I come on. So my bad for not letting you know, my brother. But, it is up. The stream is up. If you want to check out at least a little bit of it so you can see my style of calling the fights, I call it a little bit different than what you're used to seeing. My brother, them fights was crazy. First of all, Brian Norman Jr., for the people that don't know him, for the people who felt like, he's regular, he's not ready for boosts and all that. Yesterday they got to see what's up with Brian Norman Jr. He fought a very good opponent and absolutely pulverized him in the third round with a devastating combination, a devastating knockout. LLYY, yeah, I check it out. It was crazy stream. I'll make the time for the stream next time. And it's gonna be a lot of fights, my brother. It's gonna be a lot of fights. I'm gonna be calling them. So, no big deal that you missed this one. There's gonna be a lot more to come. JJ's in there. As you sound like your voice is good. Yeah, my voice actually, I'm surprised how good my voice is today, to be honest. William P, same fighters won the rematch, Myers and Zepeda. Yep. Myers, both of them won their rematch, and Brian Norman Jr. was just spectacular, bro. Did y'all see that knockout? So for the people that was saying, yo, he's not ready for boots, I'm seeing a lot of opinions changing. Yesterday, there was already people telling me, yo, Brian Norman Jr., he's ready. He's ready for boots. And I believe a performance like the one he put together yesterday, yo, pay him his money. Make this fight happen. We already see what Norman Jr. brings to the table. We already see how he can fight, how he got power. And you saw how that fight ended. What a brutal knockout. It was like a 4-5 punch combination, capped off by a nasty left hook. William P. Boots got it. I think edges it out. I think it's a real close fight. But you know that we could get past their opponents and look ahead. Boots got Stanionis next, so I'm sure he has to, be focused on him. But should Boots win that fight, I say, listen, Brian Norman Jr. and Jerome Boots Ennis is the unification about to make at the welterweight division. For sure. LLYY. What do you think Bivol next fight gonna be? I mean, Bivol should fight Benavidez. But it looks like His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh doesn't want that fight. He wants a trilogy. But I would side with Bivol versus Benavidez. That's my take. John Parham, thanks to Coach Malachi and True Media, I got turned on to B. Norman Jr. about 17 months ago. What's good, John Parham? What's the deal, my brother? And shout out to True Media. Man, listen, for whatever reason, there's people that doubt Brian Norman Jr., and I think that this fight should leave no doubt. After this fight, you should understand the type of skills that he got, the type of power that he has. And Brian Norman Jr. is a guy who can flat out fight. Simple as that. He can fight. You saw the way this one ended. What a combination. It was a bang, 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 left hook, that just sent that man to the canvas. He was hurt. John Parham, hit that like button. No doubt, my peoples. Hit that like button, man. Those fights was crazy yesterday. JJ Zendejas, very competitive fight. Good for the fans. John Parham, fearless. And did you guys see the ladies? The ladies, my peoples. Mikaela Myers, Sandy Ryan. They gave us another one. Another classic banger. LLYY. I watched Bivol fight yesterday. I'm looking up. I'm looking up to get that style. Amazing boxer. Yeah, man. Dimitri Bivol. So, the thing about Bivol is that he has two things, intangibles that you want to see in a top level fighter. Number one, great combination puncher, lets his hands fly. Number two, amazing footwork. Bivol, he's a big dude. He's a tall guy. Great footwork, knows his way around the ring, puts himself into position to be on the offense. He can fight flat out. William P. Slugfest yesterday. A lot of slugfests. And, a few people already hit me up like, yo, Jay, you was right about Mikaela Myers and Sandy Ryan. They went to war. This time, though, Mikaela Myers won convincingly. It wasn't, a controversial decision or the type of fight that you say, okay, this could go either way. When that last bell went off, you knew Mikaela Myers won the fight. Now, Sandy Ryan did come on strong towards the last few rounds, started winning some of those. But, Mikaela Myers was just too much for her. LLYY. He's fighting, moving backward and all that, and amazing posture rather than most pros. JJ's in there. Ladies fight was good. Lots of fireworks. I'm telling y'all, man, Mikaela Myers and Sandy Ryan, it did not disappoint. It's exactly what I expected. And that's what I'm trying to do, man. I want to show love to women's boxing and show people like, the women can fight. The women can bang. They can box. What I liked about that fight is the way that Mikaela Myers was able to really put them hands out there in the form of combinations. You saw that every time Sandy Ryan closed the gap, Mikaela Myers was like, bam, 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 just unloading, letting her hands go. That's what made the difference, actually, because Sandy Ryan landed some very good punches, but you could see that, when she threw 1 and 2, Mikaela Myers was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the body digging. Mikaela Myers was digging super hard to the body. Super hard. John Parham. I waited for dude who kept asking about the fight, bet predictions. He needs to cash at me, especially for Norman before 10. I want to see my peoples that was saying Sandy Ryan was going to win. Where y'all at? John Parham. A lot of love yesterday for sure. Man, listen. Fights that we want to see and the type of showdowns that bring in the fans and make people happy about it. Branjo Romero. Who you got? Brian Norman versus Boots. Mikaela did a good job. Brian Norman versus Boots. Boots is going to be the favorite. I think I'm going to have to side with him. But I'm not making a prediction just yet, man. Brian Norman Jr., he's for real. He can fight. He can bang. And y'all saw it yesterday. So I don't want to make a pick just yet. And Mikaela Myers, she showed out yesterday. This wasn't as close as the first fight. She made sure to defend her title in beautiful fashion. We saw it. We saw it, my peoples. LLYY. I watch a boxing coach video, and he says the odds for Crawford and Canelo are so close, and Canelo is the favorite. And he says, and swear to God, that will put $30K on Canelo. Well, if that's how you feel about it, I feel like he's about to lose $30K. John Parham. Norman more hungry. You could see Brian Norman Jr. He's hungry. He wants it. After the fight, he said he wants to unify. And I like his style. You see that Brian Norman Jr., he's not much of a trash talker. He goes to business. And once the fight is over, very quiet, very humble. Again, just goes about his business, tell you what he want to do. JJ's in there. Their internet not working. You see what I'm telling you? People be saying, oh, this fight is going to win, I'm sure. And the internet goes down the next day, early. William P. I think he talking about Biz. Biz is the one with the 30K bet on Canelo. I don't know, man. I don't think putting any amount of money on Canelo is gonna be good. LLYY John, his name is Showbiz the Adult. John Parham, I see 8 people talking in the chat. Why only 5 likes? Damn, yeah, my peoples. Hit that like button, man. That ain't gonna cost you nothing. And by the way, Tevin Farmer versus William Zepeda. We got to call that fight too, which it came off by surprise because I thought that fight along with Zandy Ryan and Mikaela Meyer was gonna be at the same time. So I thought I would only be able to call one of them. And before you know it, when Sandy Ryan and Mikaela Meyer finished, we got to go with Zepeda and Farmer. I think it was in the 3rd round that Tevin Farmer hurt his left hand. And from that point on, he took a lot of punishment. By the 8th round, Farmer was able to start using his footwork more successfully and letting his hands go. He didn't have much behind that left. He was throwing that left, but not really hard like that. And William Zepeda was able to tee off on him. I was saying during the stream that they should stop that fight just so, so Farmer doesn't have to take a lot of punishment like that. He was able to pull through. Tough guy. Tevin Farmer got hard, and he made it the distance, but William Zepeda won that fight. Vladislav Aviv, hello from Russia. What's the deal, Russia? John Pound, my figure Showbiz, he's very biased with Canelo, but will switch up. He been called out a lot for him. Yeah, he's super biased. He's super biased. But, I think that's, he got his fighters. I think we all got our fighters, and he'll show it when it comes to Canelo. William P. Zepeda pressure Shakur. He wins. Shakur was looking at it yesterday. Yeah, Shakur was checking that out. Nah, I don't think he could beat Shakur at all. I think Zepeda is going to be fooled, and that's the reason why De La Hoya hasn't made that fight happen. LOYY, you got to watch Showbiz the Adult. He has some crazy opinions on Canelo versus Crawford. I seen some of it. To be honest, I don't follow him. I don't see a lot of the things that he says about these fights, but he has, I know Canelo's one of his favorite fighters, so he's gonna call it in Canelo's favor. John Parham, I used to go head to head with Showbiz. He a goofy, but has a lot of followers somehow. I think Showbiz the entertainer is more, his content was more like to be incendiary, to get people to react. And he's very colorful in the way that he does his video. He has, he's very popular. He has a big Instagram following, and I'm assuming on other platforms as well. I wish I could debate with him. I wish. John Pound, he's more of a comedian. Yeah, he's a funny guy. He is. JJ Zepeda, it's funny that Farmer was shocked that he lost. Yeah, that was funny as hell. Like when they were announcing, when they were saying the scores, Farmer was like he was ready to celebrate. Like, bro, what are you talking about? You got beat up for the majority of the fight. So I don't know what that was about. William P, we here, fam. Showbiz be talking crazy. Yeah, he be talking crazy, but I think it's part of that is because he got his fighters that he likes. G-Bo, salute. Smith, what's the deal, my brother? M-A-W, hello, boxing fans in chat. Smash that like button, folks. Hell yeah, my peoples. Come on. 14 of us, I just got 5 likes, man. Hit me up with a few of those likes. Let's get that algorithm going. John Parham, Farmer fought his way back in the last rounds. Yeah, I was surprised. He did very good in those last rounds. Used his footwork. Every time Zepeda closed the gap, beep, 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 let them hands go. So, he fought his way back. He stood in it, hung in there. But it was obvious that he lost the fight. He was way too far behind on the scorecards to think that winning those last few rounds, he was going to win it. That just was crazy. JJ Zendejas, I like your show better because I'm an old school boxing fan. I'm old school with it as well, my brother. William P, they be cheating. Farmer, that was supposed to be 1-1. Nah, my brother, I did not see Farmer win that fight at all. Well, the first one, it should have been in Farmer's favor. To be honest, that first fight, Farmer was putting all type of hands on William Zepeda. LOYY. I got a weird coach. I asked him, what's your opinion on Tank ducking Shakur? And he says ducking a dude that can punch and make a laugh. I mean, that's the thing. It doesn't matter about can or can't punch. It's about we'll dish that out. We'll give you that loss. And Tank don't want it. John Parham. If it was a draw, I wouldn't have been mad at it. Yeah, it could have been a draw too. That first fight could have been a draw. I did see Tevin Farmer winning it, to be honest. William P. That's because Farmer not signed to no one. Yo, listen, it seems like when it comes to Tevin Farmer, a lot of his losses have been very close fights that he could have won. And it's like the decision always goes against his favor. William P. The first one Farmer should have won. I agree. I saw him winning that fight. MAW. Showbiz is okay, but nowadays he plays a bit on the public for views. Sometimes he talks to chat like we all casuals though. Sometimes. I've never been on his channel. I never been on his chat, so I don't know, how he interacts. But he does come across in the videos that I see like someone who's there for, entertainment purposes and to get the conversation going, say incendiary things, and he's successful at it. A lot of people follow him. John Parham, waiting to see results on Farmer and an elbow. I think he definitely was injured, badly. Just the way that, his left hand, there wasn't much in there when he threw that shot. LLYY, what do you think make boxing is the most popular combat sport and the richest? Well, the thing about, look, all combat sports are competitive. All combat sports have great athletes. I think boxing is the most lucrative and the most famous simply because it's the most pure form of combat. Just these two. That's it. You see, and I always use MMA as an example. You know that with MMA, you can knee, you can punch, you can elbow, you can take down, you can choke. There's so many different things that you can do. And it's great for the action, although sometimes MMA fights can be boring when, for non-MMA fans, because once you take a guy down and they're struggling, they're in the floor, fighting for position, if you're not into that like that, you're not going to enjoy that. It could even come across as boring when two guys are in the floor for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just looking for position. And it's tough to do that, and it takes a lot of skill, but it's not very entertaining to watch if that's not your favorite sport. Boxing, in the other hand, you don't have to watch boxing or even know anything about it to enjoy a boxing match. When they throw in leather, you're going to enjoy it regardless of whether or not you follow the sport. So I think boxing is a form of combat that is more entertaining than any other sport, just because it's just these two right here. Boom, boom, boom. Just two people punching each other. William P, 11 viewers and 8 likes. Come on, chat. No doubt, man. Hit that like button, my peoples. John Parham, MAW, you don't think he pushed him a little? LLYY, what do you think boxing dropped fans in the last half decade? I mean, I think some of the controversial decisions are a turnoff. I think fans sometimes will see some decisions and say, damn, they cheating. This is rigged. This is scripted. And that brings people to go watch other combat sports. I think that's at least part of it. JJ Zendejas, same here. Never been on his channel. I need more facts than educational content. That's the one thing, it seems like showbiz is about entertainment. He's going to entertain you. He's going to, he, like somebody just say he's kind of like a comedian, the way he does it, the way he screams, oh, and all these, that's his style. And I think that there's people that are going to be looking to be entertained, and there you have it right there. I mean, we get entertained right here because we talking about the sport of boxing. We talking about what we love. But I think me and him have a very different approach as far as what we're going to address and how we address it. LLYY. I think YouTube boxing and troll fights has ruined boxing. And Jake versus Tyson, it was sad. And most of the people that watch are not boxing fans at all. The thing is that YouTubers, they found a lane. Jake Paul found a lane for himself, and he's been able to exploit it. Look, we might actually end up getting Jake Paul versus AJ. That may actually happen. And to be honest, I watch just because I want to see Jake Paul get pummeled. So I will watch that fight. But we got to understand that part of the reason why YouTubers have been able to carve a lane in boxing is because we're not getting a lot of the big fights, my people. That's why. Jake Paul was smart. He sees like, you know what, there's a void in boxing. There's fans that want to see these fights and they're not getting it. We're gonna give them entertainment. We're gonna entertain them with these YouTubers and these non-boxers fighting each other. LLYY, Jake versus AJ is going to be fake again. There's no way it's gonna be for real. We'll see, we'll see. Because AJ, he comes across as being delusional. He could just be trolling. But he acting like he feels like he could beat AJ. Güero, good morning. I know I haven't checked in a few days. I've been a bit busy, but I watch your shorts. Salute. Appreciate you, my brother. You already know what it is. William P. No more real boxer gonna fight Jake than Tyson, and Jake was and that was scripted. Güero, John, salute. William P. Mike could put a beating on Jake at that age. Nah, my peoples. Nah, Mike Tyson could not put no beating on Jake. Jake, if anything, Jake could have knocked him out and let Mike Tyson off the hook. LLYY, Mike Tyson at least got that 20 M's, ruined his legacy, but still one of the GOATs. John Parham, True Media, Jay Smith, and Mill City and Cigar Talk, my favorite channels. Ooh, appreciate that, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate that. True Media, Mill City Boxing, Cigar Talk. These are real boxing channels. So to put me amongst those, I really appreciate it, my guy. Real talk. But with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, my peoples, listen, Mike Tyson is not, people don't want to accept Mike Tyson is nearly 60 years old. And yes, in those little short 30-second clips that they were cutting of him hitting the bag, he looks good. But nah, in a real fight, man, Mike Tyson at that age, he can't fight anymore. You know, Jake Paul's a lot bigger than him and would have been able to knock him out if he wanted to. Trust me on that. LLYY, come on now. Mike will hurt Jake if he takes it seriously. Did you sparring footage? Come on, man. I'm trying to tell you, LLYY. Mike Tyson can beat a young fighter, even though Jake Paul is not a great fighter or anything like that. But just his physicality and his age, he definitely can beat and did beat Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson can't beat nobody, my brother. We want to believe that he can, but trust me, I told people before the fight, the video is up right here, that Jake Paul was going to beat him. For sure, for sure. 60-year-old man, my brother. I know, trust me, remember, I got in the ring when I was 44. And I know what it felt like to be in the ring at 44. At Mike's age, nearly 60, you have no idea, my brother, what that's like. LLYY. But that Mike Tyson thought ain't no regular 58-year-old. Yeah, he's a regular 58-year-old. You just may not see it. But Mike Tyson was taken off a plane just a month before that in a wheelchair, my brother. Mike Tyson, if you see him walking, trust me, he a regular 58-year-old. Smokes a lot of weed, drinks, get high. You know, regular fit. He might look fit, did a little training camp. But what you didn't notice is that all the videos that they showed you of Mike Tyson was short little clips, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. My brother, I could hit the punching bag and look like an elite level fighter right now. Right now, I could hit the punching bag and have you think, oh, shit. Ooh, but that's the punching bag. In the ring with somebody fighting for real, going at it with everything, is not the same, my brother. Mike Tyson was not ready for that type of action and actually went. LOYY, but Mike got that warrior mentality. That's a fact. He's a warrior. He's been fighting his whole life. But he definitely did not let Jake Paul win. Jake Paul's putting hands on him and actually, you know, took it easy out there. He could have stopped Mike Tyson and he chose not to. Maybe they even had a no knockout clause in the contract. JJ Zendejas, lots of my uncles gave up on boxing when De La Hoya supposedly lost to Trinidad, but I told them De La Hoya was the one that shut it down the last 2 rounds. You know, De La Hoya should have been ahead on the cards enough to win it, but It's a fight between two champions, and we've never seen Oscar De La Hoya do that before that. I've been following De La Hoya. He never did that in any of his fights, so he had way too much respect for Tito Trinidad in those last 2 rounds, and it showed. He ran around, gave those rounds up, and then Trinidad had Don King as his promoter. Murder She Wrote. He gave up the fight, and Trinidad never gave him the rematch. De La Hoya even flew to Puerto Rico, offered him a career payday. They refused to give him the rematch. That's how it played out. John Parham. Best believe they fed Mike meds and fluids to show all the footage, especially before fight. He looked off. Mike Tyson was not the type of Mike Tyson that people wanted to see, that people thought they were going to see. It simply wasn't that simple, my people. It wasn't. Jeffrey T. Deron. Mike's last pro fight showed us he was done. Seems some just can't let it go. It's true, my brother. People don't want to let it go. Mike Tyson got beat up brutally by McBride. Look at his last professional fights, and you can see. And now that he's almost 60 years old, come on now. Like really, really, really washed up with physical issues with his body. Knees are not that good anymore. His back is not that good. Mike Tyson got all type of health problems, bro. He was definitely not in there and wasn't going to beat Jake Paul. He had a couple of... You could even see that he was out of gas. Like by round number 4, that's it. He was just one punch at a time. John Parham. Clear example. Mike was biting his glove like crazy from frustration because he was struggling. He was struggling badly. He was struggling. And you could see it. It was not like he was letting... Jake Paul do his thing. It was just not a lot he could do himself. Jeffrey T. Paul could have stopped Mike. He carried him. That's facts. That's fact. He could have stopped him. Nasty. But I'm going to tell you like this. With the atmosphere, with the energy that was in that arena, if Jake Paul would have knocked Mike Tyson out, him and his team may have been in danger trying to get out of that arena. I'm telling you. There was people in that arena like, if he knocked Mike Tyson out, I'ma see him. So I think it was a wise decision to not knock him out, because that could have been problematic. LLYY. It was a part of the script, so he could remember not to punch. MAW. Father Time catches up to us all. Iron Mike Tyson included. That's the way it is. LLYY, but Floyd will take Jake right now. I think so. He does. He'll outpoint him. He's not going to knock him out. Jake is too big, but he'll outbox him. Braulio Romero, you don't think that fight was fixed, though? Nah, it wasn't fixed. Trust me, if Mike Tyson could have beat Jake Paul, he would have beat him. It was not fixed. The only thing that was fixed about that fight is that they told Jake Paul, do not knock Mike Tyson out. Do not knock him out. But I think everybody knew that Jake Paul was going to win that fight. I know it's a lot of people that wanted Mike Tyson to win, so it was more an emotional thing. I'm going for Mike. But come on, man. When have we seen a 58-year-old have any success in the ring? Like, that doesn't even make sense. It's more about what we wanted than what should have happened, than what we should expect. John Parham, hell, I'm 45 and my legs and back go out in the bedroom. Look at that shit. John Parham. Jake, too big to fight Floyd. I think Floyd will fight him. But they won't be able to, maybe they could do some type of cash weight. But I think Floyd will fight him just to show it, that he'll beat his ass. William P. It was fixed. They got sued. Man, that they got sued stuff. That's stuff out of thin air. Ain't nothing gonna happen with that. The fight was not fixed. Jake Paul beat him up. That's what really happened, bro. The people that saying that it was fixed is because they wanted Mike Tyson to win so bad that that's the narrative that they got started. Nah, this got fixed because Mike Tyson should have won. Nah, 58-year-old Mike Tyson will get beat up by any fighter at Jake's age who's that big. It's just that simple. LLYY, Floyd versus Jake will make crazy bag. Well, I don't really care about Floyd versus Jake, to be honest. Floyd versus anybody will make a crazy bag. William Longshaft. Hello, all you champs. What's the deal, Willie? Bam, in the building. Y'all already know, my people. Don't forget to hit that like button. Jeffrey, do you see Mayweather offer Kambosos a pro fight? Or so Kambosos is saying. Yeah, yeah. Um, Kambosos won his fight recently. So we'll see if this is going to develop into something. Because apparently, the way Kambosos put it is that they offered him a fight with Floyd Mayweather for it to take place in a big stadium in Australia. If that was to happen, it will be a big deal. I can tell you that right now. Floyd Mayweather coming back at 48 years old, that would be crazy. Now, I don't know what's the point of him coming back, to be honest. Does he just want to get one more win to get to 51 wins? Because I don't think that he's going to try to fight his way into a title shot. But you just never know. If he dominates Kambosos, for example, will he want a title shot afterwards? Willie Longshot, Benavidez versus Canelo needs to happen. I don't know if that fight is ever going to happen simply because Canelo avoided him for the last 3-4 years. So if he has done that, why would he fight him at the tail end of his career? I don't know. Right now, Canelo, we're talking about a big Benavidez who's now more experienced, who's fighting at 175. He's bigger now. So I don't know if we'll ever see that fight, to be honest. Well, I was a dog in my day. As brawler, I fought 2-3 at the same time. I took L's, but at age 50, I got knocked the fuck out by a younger fighter. Yo, I'm telling you, the older you get, and that's another thing people don't realize, that punch resistance, bro, is not the same. Getting punched really hard in your 20s is not the same as getting punched really hard in your 40s and 50s. Those hit different, my people. Real talk. Willie Longshot, Luis Ortiz versus Frank Sanchez. Who wins? I can't answer that off the top of my head, my brother, to be honest. MAW, why Kambosos versus Floyd Mayweather? I thought Kambosos was just chasing Richardson Hitchens. Yeah, that's the fight that they trying to make it happen. Kambosos versus Hitchens. But if Floyd Mayweather throws his hat in the ring and says, I want in, Floyd Mayweather's going to skip that line. Easy work for him to get that fight. Any fight. LLYY, do you think this new boxing organization will start by Dane? You don't think organization will bring so much fans to the sport of boxing? Because most people don't know boxing promotions work. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little bit skeptical with Dana White and His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh new boxing promotion. And the reason is because at first I thought it was just going to be a promotional company just like any other. But that TKO thing, they're going to have their own league, right? Their own belt. So what I'm wondering is are the fighters who are fighting for their belt gonna be able to also fight for the other major titles, or are they only gonna fight for that turkey belt? And that's what it looks like, because they have their ranking, and based on where you're ranked, that's how much they're gonna pay you. And I don't know if they're gonna be separate from everybody else. It's gonna be tough because a lot of the big names are not gonna sign with them. So they're gonna, and Dana White said it, they're gonna be signing a lot of guys who have a lot of losses and just the best fighting each other. So it looks like it will be entertaining. It will be, fun fights, good matchups. But how meaningful, we want to watch meaningful fights. How meaningful is it gonna be if these guys are only fighting for the turkey belt? So we have to see. William Longshaft, Excellency pays judges off. I think it's going to be controversial because the way that they're going to run it, this is different. You have your own sanctioning body. You have your own belt. You have your own ranking system. Let's see how it's going to play out. MAW, whoa, Campbell will grab that Floyd Mayweather payday, no doubt for sure, if it's serious, in my humble opinion. Of course. Floyd Mayweather, if he calls and says, yo, we're going to fight you, everybody going to take that fight. Win, lose, or draw, anybody. I'll take the fight. Floyd Mayweather call me, I'm fighting. Get my ass whooped, but I'm fighting for that bag. JJ said that boxing politics is more than we know. Something but the fighters, no matter what, want their money. And I don't blame them one bit. That's facts. As fighters, you should get your money because at the end of the day, fighters don't have health insurance. When they retire, guess what? If they don't got money saved up, that's why you see fighters go broke all the time. Or fighters who retire, now they got a regular job. Because people don't realize every fighter is not out there making millions and millions of dollars. There's a lot of fighters, and there's a few up top of the big names that make millions, but the majority don't. So, you got to make as much money as you want. I mean, as much money as you can. Jeffrey, glad you say that. Not sure Turkey liking the original belts. It will work under UFC format, but that's not real world. I mean, this is the thing. When it comes to that, that new boxing thing that they got going on, I don't like the fact that they chose to make up their own belt, because at that point, when you do that, where you're saying, I want to own everything. I don't want, other sanctioning bodies to have my fighters ranked and my fighters, going there and going there to fight. So it's going to be similar. I'm not going to say like PBC, because, PBC went to Amazon Prime and they're fighting in-house. Although some of their fighters are going elsewhere. But it's what PBC was doing, but at an extreme level. Because now you're going to have people only fighting within your promotional company. So it's in-house, obviously. And they're only going to be fighting for this one belt, which for now at least is meaningless. It's meaningless. Nobody, right now, we don't even know what's the name of the belt or anything. That's why we've been calling it the Turkey belt. LOYY, how much you think the most money a fighter could make from this new organization by Dana? I mean, they said that champions defending their title is going to get like $750,000, something like that. So for now, at least, it looks like that's the highest pay that they can get. Willie Longshot, boxers need to invest in property. If they make a couple of million, set up for retirement. Look, investment, when you're a fighter, it's extremely important to invest your money. And the problem is that fighters, especially younger fighters, they get a bag and they blow it. They feel like they need to buy the jewelry. They feel like they need to buy the cars. They feel like they need to. And then at the end of the day, they end up broke. Because let me tell you something, my people. One big mistake that a lot of athletes make. One of the biggest mistakes is the house that they purchase for themselves. You know why? Because you're an athlete, right? You got, let's say, 2 kids and your wife. It's 4 of you, right? Now, why the hell do you need a mansion with 10 rooms? Why you need a mansion with 6 and 7 bedrooms? And they get these houses that, you're making millions, right? So cool, you can afford it, but guess what? Once you wasted all your money, that house, you can't even afford to pay property taxes on that house. The marble floors, when they crack, you can't even afford to fix them anymore. So now you got to sell that and get yourself something smaller. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that they do that they make mistakes. And you know what's one of the biggest mistakes a lot of athletes make? They allow people who don't know shit about investments to give them advice about investment. It'd be a dude that grew up with you in the hood that never invested a dime in anything. Yo, I got this investment opportunity. Let's put this $200,000 on this business. We're going to come up. That business go broke within a couple of months. So there's a lot of bad investments made by athletes, and that's also part of the reason why they be going broke. Güero, John, fuck you. Oh no, John, you fuck with oldies and old school? Güero, military life, bro. Pops got it in overseas. MAW, the difficulty of having to unify four separate major sanctioning bodies to achieve undisputed is special, and it's what separates the good from the great, in my humble opinion. TKO will dilute undisputed, sadly. Of course, they're only going to have that one title. And it's, like I said before, a meaningless title. I can't even see how they're going to bring in the stars. I know that His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh has a lot of money. What I read somewhere, think about this, my peoples, is that he wants Dmitry Bivol to vacate the title that Benavides is mandatory for, so he doesn't have to fight Benavides, and he could do the trilogy with Beterbiev. That's crazy to me, because this man is undisputed for the first time in his career, and you're going to make him drop a title so he could fight who you want him to fight? So there's little things that I'm not liking about Turkey, and that's one of them. He's trying to manipulate the fighters who to do what he wants them to do, because I'm pretty sure Bivol would not trade in a major title for the Turkey belt. I know he wouldn't. So it's like they're coercing him to do that. LLYY, the only athlete that's smart with money is Jordan and Mayweather. Nah. That's not fair, my brother. There's a lot of athletes that's been very good when it comes to investing their money. A lot of athletes who never spent millions of dollars on chains or car collections or shopping, buying crazy things. There's a lot of artists who've done a good job, a lot of athletes who've done a good job with their money. But I would say that doesn't represent the majority. People don't realize this, but the overwhelming majority of athletes, by 6-7 years into their retirement, they're already broke, or they're already living off of a small amount of money. William Longshap, Andy Ruiz invested his money in property due to his dad being a builder. You see, Andy Ruiz, and Andy Ruiz got his bag from AJ. When he fought AJ the first time, he made a nice chunk of money. Then the rematch brought in the real dough. And what he do? He invests right away. But there's been a lot of fighters who invest their money wisely, and athletes from different sports. JJ Zendejas, Mikey Garcia is very good with his money. He does real estate. And look, a lot of the fighters that you see have been good with their money. You even see how they go about, you don't see them with 50 chains. Like Floyd Mayweather, he can have all that jewelry because he's made hundreds of millions of dollars. But he's the exception. Most athletes, most boxers will not see $100 million in their career. That's just a few who will make that amount of money. But if you made, $10 million, $15, $20 million in your career, you could make some sound investments. And there are fighters who've been able to do that. LLYY. But keep in mind, you're an athlete and famous. You're not going to live in a regular neighborhood. Or, of course, you get a big house. Yeah, you get a big house, but there's different scales of big house. There's different, like, for example, there's a very big difference between you getting $1 million house in upstate New York and $1 million house in Atlanta. That $1 million house in upstate New York, you'll have 2 bedrooms, a small living room, and a little backyard. That $1 million house in Atlanta is going to get you a huge mansion. But the point is, that huge mansion, are you going to be able to maintain it once you're not boxing anymore? Because we only look at the huge mansion. But do you realize it takes $50,000 a year to maintain that mansion? $50,000 a year. To maintain that swimming pool so the water could be looking nice and blue. To maintain that lawn, because you got a contract that says you cannot let that lawn be overgrown. You got to mow that shit. You got to pay a company that comes with a lawnmower to mow your lawn. Or you got to buy your own lawnmower and have somebody do it for you. The paint job in that house, thousands of dollars when you got to paint. So that's the thing. And then taxes, property taxes. So that's the thing. People just see the big ass mansion, but they don't even realize, especially the people buying it when they're young, they don't realize, okay, I'm buying this big mansion. It's going to cost me $50,000 a year to maintain it. The property tax on this mansion, $100,000 a year. That's $150,000 a year. Am I going to be able to pay that when I stop fighting? How am I going to make that money? Because if you don't got investments, if you're not generating money, that mansion is going to go to shit once you retire. Once you retire, you're going to see the grass all over the place. You're going to see the pool water that used to look blue. That shit's going to be looking green and moldy. Your paint is going to be all messed up, scraping. Bird shit all over the place because you can't afford the people to come clean it. Yo, I'm telling you, it takes a lot of money to maintain those big mansions. So, one thing is when you're getting those big checks, it's easy work to pay everybody, pay everything. But when the checks stop coming in and there is no pension in boxing, you're going to be fucked. John Parham, LLYY, did you know Chad Ochocinco lived in the stadium for 4 years and drives a smart car to this day and doesn't own no vehicle over 120K and only has 4 cars? I'm telling you, there's athletes that they real smart about their money. Some are super cheap, a little bit exaggerated cheap. Chad Ochocinco has actually said, I'm cheap with my money. He's actually said that. So, it's not about getting the big home. It's about, can you maintain it once you got it? Can you afford to maintain it? And that's the reason why a lot of people go broke. They only thinking about the amount of money that they need to make that purchase. Like, let me give you an example. Let's say you're retired. Right now you're retired. And you have a $2 million payout. So with your $2 million, you decide to buy $1 million home. Now you got $1 million left for spending money. And you don't invest. Yo, you're going to spend that $1 million and your house, you're going to end up having to sell it. Because you're not going to be able to afford it. You're not. And there's also people, by the way, who got huge mansions and there's shit in that mansion. Because they literally could only afford to pay the property tax. Pay the tax to keep the house. And keep the image that we got the house. But the house is messed up. The heater's not working. The pool filter's not working. The grass is all messed up. Bunch of garbage in the background. The paint is peeling off the house. There's mansions like that, my people. Real talk. LLYY. But rather than being cheap with your money, just try to get your name up as an athlete so you make crazy back from fights. I mean, that's easier said than done, my brother. Don't you think everybody want to make crazy back from fights? Everybody want to make crazy bags. It's not about that. It's what are you going to do when the bag stops coming in? What are you going to do? That's why if you're smart with your money, you get you a nice house, a very nice house, not too big, not an Olympic-sized pool and shit. Your ass ain't going to be able to maintain that when the checks stop coming in. Get you a real nice house, nice size, 2-3 bedrooms. That's what you need. You don't need 10 bedrooms. You don't need 5 living rooms. You don't need 6 bathrooms. You don't need none of that. Get you a house and calculate, can I maintain this when I'm not getting these checks anymore? But that's what happens, my people. That's the reason why a lot of boxers and a lot of athletes in general go broke. Willie Longshaft, I'd like a nice bungalow. You see what I'm saying? It don't have to be a huge, expansive mansion. Just a nice, comfortable house. That you comfortable, that everything looks nice. That you like the design of it. You like the way everything looks. That's what you need. But it's about maintaining an image. People want to gain an image that we the ones that got the most millions. We the ones that's making the most money. And then those are the ones that be broke. John Parham, Jay, he definitely is. He also opened up 2 restaurants for his family, a daycare, and a construction company for his brother, so they can make their own money. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Making good investments so that when you're not able to get those checks anymore, the money keeps coming in. Because that's the one thing you got to keep in mind, my people. Boxers who make millions of dollars, when they make these investments, they're going to assure all these things that they got, they can maintain them. They don't have to now start going, sell the house, sell the car, sell the jewelry, sell everything. That happens more than you think. You know how many boxers have bought $1 million chains and then they had to sell them because they didn't have no money? JJ Zendejas, get yourself a nice home and live with your means, and no stress life is the best. That's facts. That's facts. Listen, look at Adrian Broner, for example, who blew all his money and been even scamming people for their money, allegedly. Adrian Broner sold millions of dollars. Right now, Adrian Broner is a guy that could have owned a very nice home somewhere, have 2, 3 cars, a car in a nice SUV, and live comfortably for good for the rest of his life. But no, why? He was too busy buying expensive jewelry, blowing bags at the club, 50,000, 100,000 in bottles and women, and that's what happens. You go broke. You go broke, my peoples. John Parham, Mike made more money than Floyd. Honestly, just had poor management. Yo, Mike Tyson made hundreds of millions of dollars. Matter of fact, I remember Mike Tyson was the first fighter to get $30 million for one fight. If I'm not mistaken, that was him and Evander Holyfield. 30 or $50 million, I don't remember. But Mike Tyson was setting the bar for how much money a fighter can make, making the most money consistently. But he blew his money. Luckily for Mike Tyson, he's had a second life, a second career as far as making money. Mike Tyson now, his weed company makes a lot of money. His podcast is bringing in the money. Like Mike Tyson, he's a name brand. He was able to build himself back up, and he went from going broke to making millions of dollars once again. So salute to Mike Tyson, man. He's lucky that he has that type of fame, that type of popularity, that he's able to keep making money. Not going to be the case with most fighters. Willie Longshaft, I need to win the USA Powerball. I wish I could win that Powerball, my people. Real talk. But we digress. We digress from the action that took place yesterday. Brian Norman Jr. And Jaron Boots Ennis. If Jaron Boots Ennis beats Stanionis, I believe that Brian Norman Jr., Jaron Boots Ennis is the fight to make, my people. That's it. That's the fight to make. You already saw, if you had not seen Brian Norman Jr., you already saw his skills. You already saw his power. You already saw, how he absolutely destroyed his opponent with a 4 or 5 punch combination in round number 3. Early finish. That's it. This is the great setup to fight with Boots. So Boots obviously got his opponent in front of him, and Stanionis, who's a very good fighter. I'm sure he's going to look to win in spectacular fashion. And I think that's going to set up the showdown between them two. As I see it. William Longshaft, I'd move to the Caribbean, then fly over to the USA for the big fights. That's a good plan. LLYY, you think you will make it as a boxer if you go only for money and getting rich from the sport? I mean, it depends. It's always going to depend on 2 things, your popularity and how good you are in the ring. If you're not that good, there's nothing you could do. You're not going to make a lot of money anyways. You're not going to make a lot of money. And if you're very good, you can make it as a boxer and make a lot of money. So it's all about your talent. What's your level of talent? How good are you? Willie Longshaft, John, that's crazy. John Parham, Willie, my buddy hit 6.4 mil in Louisville, Kentucky about 12 years ago. He broke now with a 2017 LZ1 Camaro left. And check this out, John Parham. I know somebody who hit the lottery and was broke within like 2-3 years. And he got a couple of million. I think he got like $2-3 million. Within a couple of years, he was broke. Why? Because as soon as he got that money, he bought a car. I don't remember what type of car, but he bought a car for himself, a car for his little brother, a car for his cousin, gold and diamond chain for the crew. You already know the balling out of control mentality, going out clubbing, taking girls shopping, all this other stuff. Went broke. That's another interesting thing, so you can see. Most people who win the lottery go broke. Why? Because for the same reason as the athletes. They don't invest the money, or they don't invest the money right. They do a lot of crazy things, a lot of impulse buying. They end up broke. They live like millionaires for a few years. Getting all the expensive bottles, the expensive every pair of new sneakers that comes out, every new iPhone that comes out, everything that comes out, they're getting it. Before you know it, they broke. I knew of a guy, this was here in Dominican Republic. I knew of a guy who won the lottery out here, and he had like 5-6 brothers and sisters, and he bought a house for everyone. A house for you, a house for you, a house for you. This guy went broke and had to sell his own house. And then he was asking them, oh, you should let me live in your house. You should let me stay over there. And they didn't want to. They were like, nah, bro, I can't do that now. So people blow their money and then they be looking hurt. MAW, most people just super done with money. The thing is, I understand it in a way because, if you never had money, you got to think about that perspective as well. If you, like for example, if you always wanted a Lamborghini or if you always wanted a Ferrari, but you never had the money, as soon as you come up with millions, you want to buy that Ferrari or you want to buy that Lamborghini. You ever wanted to have big gold chains, you're going to buy the things that you always wanted to have, but you could not. As soon as that money come in, you want to get them. So in a way, I understand why people go broke. John Parham, he got hooked on perk 30s. At first, he was doing good. He has a lot of expensive Jordan stuff he put up. Work at Home Depot now. You see what I'm saying? That story repeats itself over and over. It's like over 75% of the people who win the lottery that go broke. That's the overwhelming majority. Because another thing is, when you win the lottery, they tell you, they can give you a financial advisor, which of course you're going to pay a fee for that. But they could give you a financial advisor to help you with your money. And most people decline it. Most people say, nah, I'm good. I'm straight. And then they blow their money. John Parham, he gave me $25K to put on my house, so I look out for him when I can. He bought everyone a new car in his family. You see what I'm saying? And that's the worst thing that you can do. Start buying stuff for people. Start buying expensive stuff for people and giving people stuff, because you're going to go broke, and then what you going to do? What you going to do when you go broke? A lot of people do that. And I was watching a financial advisor talking about this subject. And listen to what he said, John Parham. When he's assigned or hired to advise somebody who won millions of dollars in the lottery, this is the first thing he does. You're going to move from your neighborhood, right? The first thing you're going to do, you're going to cut off your phone so that nobody can contact you for the first month. So the first month that you win the lottery, you're going to move from your neighborhood. You're not going to give anybody your new address. You're not going to give anybody your phone number. And in your new house where you live at, you're going to get organized for 1 month before anyone can even talk to you. And from there, he goes on to say, in that month, we figure out some investments that we're going to make. We figure out what's going to be your monthly allowance, how much money you're going to spend a month. We figure out who are the people that are closest to you, your mother, your father, brothers and sisters. And then we take some cash to work with them. Oh, does this person need money? Does that person need money? And your money, you will only use it during that period to help those who are very close to you, meaning mother, father, brothers, and sisters. No friends. No friends are gonna get help. No help. And then after you help out your close relatives, then only you'll be able to pick out a couple of your closest friends that if they happen to need money for whatever reason, you can help them out. So there's no, I'm going to be buying cars for everybody. I'm going to be giving, as a matter of fact, there is no buying cars. There is no, you're not buying nobody a car. They was good without a car before you got your lottery. So they still going to be good without a car right now. So what you're going to do, oh, this person broke a leg and they need $20,000 for a surgery. Yeah, let's help them out. They need for that surgery. Let's do it. But you're not, when people win lottery, there's even family members who get things that they cannot afford because this person won the lottery. They got me. Imagine you win the lottery, somebody show up to your house. Yeah, I can't make my car payment. I got me this new Mercedes Benz. Like, bro, how you get yourself a Mercedes Benz? You working in a factory making $10 an hour, bro. How you get that Mercedes? Oh, nah, because, you can help me with the payments, bro. So people go broke mostly because they want to take care of everybody around them. Willie, yes. There, you can, but not in the U.S. JJ's in there. That sounds like an advisor from San Francisco that I heard of. I'm telling you, there's advisors that they put you on an allowance based on how much money you got. This is how much you can spend a month. This is how much is going into investment. And you're not buying shit for nobody. Somebody want a car, tell them to work harder. They could get a car. They want this, they want that. Nah, you're not giving nobody expensive bags, expensive shopping sprees. None of that shit. That's why people go broke. That's why. Willie Longshaft. Terrible that John. You will have all the leeches out for that money. That's how it is. So you got to think about these fighters. A lot of young fighters who will fight and get a check for $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, $1 million. They have a lot of people around them that know they got that payday. And a lot of people around them that's like, damn, man, this person, if they wanted to, they could buy me a car. Yo, what's up? Can you buy me a car? Okay. That's only $20,000. Here you go. Here's your car. But in the long run, you end up regretting it. Because all that money that you gave out, you could have still had a fortune. Once you start adding up all the cars and all the loans and all the money that you gave out, if you add that up, you would have had a couple of $1 million left instead of being broke. John Parham, Tank don't seem too flashy. I mean, I'm not too sure about Tank. It doesn't look like it. He's shown a couple of chains, a couple of things, but he doesn't look like a guy who's blowing his fortune. He doesn't look like a guy who's doing the most. I hope that's the case. But again, with fighters, you see it a lot. And the reason is you have to consider most fighters, they come from the hood. They not, college graduates or anything like that. They're guys who don't have a high level of education. And people don't understand money is real tricky. Money is real tricky. It sounds easy to say invest. But if you don't invest your money the right way, you can also go broke. There's people who invested their money. They just were bad investments. Because when you think about property could be a bad investment too. You could end up buying a property to invest for $5 million and end up selling that shit for $2 million because nobody wanted to buy it. So it's not just about investing, it's about investing wisely. And that if you've never invested money in anything, it's easy for us sitting in the background to say, oh, he should invest his money. You should invest. But it's not just invest. You got to know how to invest, what you can invest in. Willie Longshaft, Joe Calazaghe, the best boxer from over here with Lennox Lewis. Joe Calzaghe, definitely a great boxer. I would say Lennox Lewis is the best one from the UK. I put Lennox Lewis at number one. And there's been a lot of great fighters from the UK, but I'm putting Lennox Lewis as number one. I got to watch his run from when he became a champion to all them title defenses and the Hall of Famers that he beat. You saw how he beat Evander Holyfield, like put a proper beating on him. The way he did Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis was just that dude, man. And then the way he put the beats on David Tua as well. MAWJ, the world is made up of givers and not takers. Rich people are generally rich from not giving. Most regular people just splash cash to employ themselves in the moment. That's a fact. That's a fact. If you look at the wealthiest people, most of them don't even own a gold chain. Most of them don't own a real expensive clothes collection. You see them wearing regular t-shirts, $50 pants, $50 shoes. You see that. You see that a lot. And even in regular life, if you go out, you notice a guy who has a very good job making good money, you might see him looking normal. And then a guy who works at McDonald's got a Cuban link and got a nice watch and got them new Jordans. And bro, you work at McDonald's, you literally working to spend all your money on the clothes that you're wearing. You see somebody wearing a $3,000 outfit and they got $10 in their pockets. And then you see somebody else with some $100 shoes, some $50 pants, a $10 shirt, and he got $10,000 in his pockets. Because it's like that. People who have it, they don't need to flaunt it. And people who don't have it want to appear to have it. And look, it's about also this new social media era, my peoples. If you go on Instagram, everybody's a motherfucking millionaire. Everybody's rich. Everybody's wealthy. Everybody is balling out of control. Then you find out, if you really was to do your research, you will find out this person got like $50,000 in credit card debt, trying to keep up that image on the internet. This other person is in debt because he want to rent a Ferrari just so he could take some pictures and do some videos and make you think that he owns it. Another person is out there renting out gold chains and diamonds. And you don't even know it's rented. You're like, damn, this person is a millionaire. If you really go by what the internet's telling you, everybody on Instagram is a millionaire. Everybody's rich. Everybody's flying on vacations every week. But that's not the reality. But people get themselves up to their eyeballs in debt because they trying to maintain an image for the internet. You're trying to maintain an image for people who don't even know you and don't even care about what you got. LLYY, and sports betting is a bad investment too? I mean, it's a bad investment if you lose. Betting is not an investment. That's called gambling, my brother. You could win, you could lose, but betting is not an investment at all. You're gambling. And if you're gambling, you could win or lose. And most of the time with gambling, you end up losing. John Parham, I know a millionaire here. He lives in a $200K house and drives a 2015 Camry and shops at Goodwill and still works at AutoZone. You see? That's somebody who's going to be a millionaire for their whole life. That person will never experience going broke. John Parham, I'm at 77% win rate on sports betting, so just got to be smart. True Blessing, 86. Anybody know the real actual rematch date for Tank versus Roach? It's supposed to be in May, but they haven't put out an actual date, and Tank Davis hasn't even signed his side of the contract. So right now the rematch isn't even official. Roach want to get paid, and they're saying that Tank Davis's team don't want to pay him. So that we don't know if that rematch is actually going to happen. Shakur Stevenson put the pressure on Tank by offering Lamar Roach a title shot. So Lamar Roach even stated that if they don't pay him his money to fight Tank, he's going to go fight Shakur. So we have to see how that plays out as of now. JJ Zendejas, what we're talking about right now is good for boxers and people in life. Thanks for the advice. Appreciate it, my brother. John Parham, I'm comfortable, but I hustle in more than one way. And I could tell you one thing, my peoples. In my younger days, I saw a few dollars. I wasn't rich. I wasn't, buff for my age, 18, 19. I saw a few dollars and I completely blew it. Blew it. Shopping sprees, the hoes, the chain, the big chain, and the Jordan collection, and blew it. Completely blew it. But I think that was a good experience for me to have at a young age, because now if I touch a little money, I'm gonna be a little bit wiser about it. And I think that's another thing that it teaches me. When you're younger, you really want to get the material things. It just happens that way. But now, for example, if I touch that paper like that, I don't care about a big gold chain. I don't care about having some watches. I don't care about a pinky ring with a little diamond. I don't care about stuff like that. Like, that's corny to me now. Willie Longshot, Box Center, a wealth of knowledge. Appreciate you, my guy. Bam. And my peoples, you already know, hit that like button and subscribe. Don't forget about that. Boss for Game, thoughts on William versus Farmer 2. Listen, that was a very good fight. It looks like Farmer got hurt in the second or third round, hurt his left hand, but he fought through it. I thought he was going to get stopped. There was some moment there where William Zepeda was landing so many punches, lefts and rights, hitting him real hard to the body with the left hook and the right hook. I thought the fight was going to get stopped. William Farmer was able to get in rhythm after the sixth round, started using his footwork real effectively, and he was able to push through and go the distance. I think it was kind of funny how, Farmer acted like he was surprised that he lost. He was like, nah, bro, you lost. You really took a beating in this fight. But it was a fun fight to watch for sure. John Parham, I still got 118 pairs of Jordan in my collection. Sometimes I had to sell a couple here and there. Imagine 118 pairs of Jordans. Well, you could make some money off of those. Sell all them shits, bro. Sell all them shits. You don't need 118 pairs of shoes. Yo, some of them shoes, I promise you, they're going to get messed up. Because it's too many. You're not going to... Like, that happened to me. I had mad shoes and a bunch of them. Yo, I had shoes get messed up that I didn't even get to wear, bro. Like, I bought them, and a year later, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to rock these for the first time. The whole sole came off. So, sell all them shit, bro. Put them shits on eBay somewhere. Make a nice chunk of money instead of just having them there and not doing nothing. John Parham, at first I thought it wouldn't go past 6. True Blessing, 86. Yes, exactly. It made you more responsible. Back in my early 20s, I came into mass stacks, but blew through it quickly. Now that I'm 40, I'm much more responsible with money. I didn't realize what I had. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes, yo. When you're younger, it's all about material shit. It's all about getting the things, and a lot of impulse buying, bro. I remember walking past a mall and just going in and spending a couple of racks. It's like, damn, buying shit that I didn't even really want to buy, but I got the money to buy it, so fuck it. That's a little kid mentality. But to me, I believe that it was a good experience to have, because now when I do touch that paper, I'm gonna be a lot more intelligent about it. LLYY, John, sell these sneakers now before they lose value. John Parham, I just sold 18. I'm telling you, man. All them Jordans, you know that they cost money. You know that Jordans are always, people want to buy them. So look for them sneaker companies, sneakerhead company, sell all them shit. You don't need 100 pairs of shoes. Willie Longshot, Box Center looks nice and warm over there. Yeah, man. Dominican Republic, the weather's beautiful right now. Like 70 degrees, my guy. LOYY, I saw some, but must have good value because I wear a 14. Those are harder to sell, but you still sell them. You still sell them. True Blessing 86. Yes, dead ass, bro. Jules, man, I recently ran into sports gambling and my money. Man, I paid my rent in a week with it. I mean, remember, it's gambling. Just like you pay your rent in a week, you might spend your rent money in an hour and not have any rent money. So you got to be real careful with that. LLYY. What you think is the best thing to make money while on your way to make it pro as a boxer? I mean, in reality, it's having a job. It's having an income. Because that's the one thing everybody thinks that they gotta own a company. They gotta, they gotta make a lot of money. It's about making money no matter how you can make it. There's fighters who worked at Burger King until they made it as a pro. Look, the guy that fought Shakur, he was an electrician. Because you gotta remember, if you're not famous, you're not gonna live off of boxing. There's a lot of boxers who have a daytime job, who have a 9 to 5. So the point is if you are talented and you believe that you're gonna make it on as a boxer, then you just gotta make money and make it through until you get there, no matter how it is. Balls for game. William versus Shakur now. I hope so. I hope so. The only reason that fight hasn't happened is because De La Hoya hasn't wanted it to happen. But I believe that they offered Shakur the fight versus Zepeda on the Canelo versus Crawford undercard, and I think he said that his hands would not be ready. So based on what's going on with Shakur's hands right now, he's getting injured during his fights. I think he may end up fighting twice a year, and he's just gonna need some time to heal and get ready for his next one. Willie Longshot. Anthony Joshua was a builder. I'm telling you, a lot of fighters had a daytime job before they became stars. It's not everyone who's gonna come off the amateurs as a hot, commodity where they're gonna get signed to a contract right away, get a little bag thrown in their direction, and make money right away. That's not the case with most fighters. John Parham. Willie, my daughter paid $13.50 for a 2-bedroom apartment. Damn, that's good. That's real good. LLYY. John, of course, bro. Thank you. Willie Longshot. It's 600 pounds over here, John. And listen, that's why we was talking about how people got to invest their money. You have to be able to generate money. And even if you're following your dreams, while you make that happen, you have to be able to generate money. Like, I'll give you an example, my people. When it comes to boxing, off of boxing, I haven't made a lot of money. I can't live off of boxing yet. I will. The time will come. But right now, I could go to an event and I haven't even made thousands of dollars. I could go to an event and make a few $100s. You see me in the neutral corner. You see me creating content. There's going to be an exhibition in a few months, which I may actually be throwing hands up in there. And I'll make a few, I'll make a few bucks off of that. But I'm not making money consistently off of boxing. I just make a little money here and there. So guess what? I got to have my job. I got a job. I'm a content creator, my people. This is what I do for a living. But I create content related to customer service. How to provide customer service, how to talk to people, how to use a system to, help the people that you're working with. I got my job. And I got to have my job until I'm able to do something big with this boxing. Until then, I got to have... Now, I tell you what, though. When I can dedicate myself to boxing, you're going to see a lot more content from me. And those who've been subscribed, I drop videos almost every single day. Dropping videos about updates, about everything that's coming up, everything that we're doing. I'm going live for all the fights. You're actually going to see more content from me when I'm dedicated to boxing. But for now, I got to keep making my money. I got to keep working. I got to keep my job. So that's the case with a lot of boxers. They got to keep making that money. LLYY. But how can you balance a 9 to 5 while you're on your way to making it as a pro? How to balance your diet, sleep, rest, training. That's sacrifice. That's what you call, my brother, sacrificing. You don't have time to be hanging out. You don't have time to be partying. When everybody's saying, let's go to the club, you're like, no, I got to go home. You got to budget your money. Because, eating healthy is more expensive than eating junk food, eating takeout. So you got to budget your money. You got to be smart. You got to be very, very focused. It's not easy. Holding down a 9 to 5 job and preparing to be a professional boxer at a high level is not easy at all. Most people who hold a job and are boxers, they're not gonna get to the highest level. There's some stories out there of fighters who were able to accomplish that, but the majority they won't, because you're just not able to dedicate the same amount of energy and time that some guys are doing. So it's very tough. I can tell you that right now. John Parham, sacrifice is the key. MAW, gotta be disciplined. That's facts. That's facts. You gotta be disciplined. You gotta sacrifice a lot. A lot. Most people who have a 9 to 5 job and box, they're not gonna make it all the way. Because that's what we have to understand, my people. There's thousands of boxers out there. One weight class has hundreds, thousands of boxers. And it's only 5 or 6 or 10 that we'll actually know about. Then there's hundreds of boxers that you never hear about. We're losing records. Even winning records, but fighting a lot of C-level fighters. There's guys out there who have a record of 20-0, and everybody that they fought is 10 wins and 20 losses, 7 wins and 15 losses, 25 wins and 30 losses. They're only fighting people like that, putting together undefeated records. But they'll never be ranked. We'll never hear from them. And guys like that have a 9 to 5 job. Simple as that. So there's a lot of people who don't live off of boxing. There's a lot of, in fact, listen, there's a lot of people who they go fight for like $5,000, and out of that $5,000, they're going to take $2,000 home. Because they had to pay the training camp, they had to pay the trainer, they had to pay the strength and conditioning coach, and they had to pay taxes. By the time it's all said and done, they made $2,000. So imagine, you was involved in a 2-month training camp, that's 8 weeks, and you walked out of there with $2,000. You didn't even make $500 a week. You didn't even make $500 a week, my people. So it's tough. It's tough. If you're not very, very, very talented in boxing, you're not going to live off of it. I guarantee you that. The only way you're going to live off of boxing is if you're either very, very talented or if you're already famous from somewhere else, like Jake Paul. If you got, a large following, whether it's on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, and you go to box, those people can support you and you can make some good money. But if you're not famous or super talented, you're not going to live off of boxing. You're not. That's just the reality. Willie Longshot, if you make $40K a year, you go on high taxes over here. You see? And $40K a year, that's okay money if you're going to live in a decent apartment. You're going to have a regular car. But with $40K a year, you're not going to live in a big ass mansion. You're not going to have the penthouse. You're not going to have the car collection. And people think, that's what people think, fighters are making millions of dollars. And they don't realize that most fighters are not making millions of dollars. They're not making money like that. They not. Now, I do have to say, the one thing that fighters should always focus on, and they don't, is live within your means. Live based off of the amount of money that you're making, not what you're projected to make. Because that's another thing. When you've seen $1 million paycheck, $500,000 paycheck, guess what? They offer you them credit cards. They offer you that black card. And now you go on spending sprees. And before you know it, all your money's gone. You're waiting to make a fight so you can pay some of these bills. Now you got child support. You blew your money and child support is calling you. Telling you. John Parham, hell, 28 an hour is only $50K. Sound like more, but it's not. You see? And $28 an hour, that's good pay depending where you live. If you live in New York City, in Midtown Manhattan, 50K is gonna be just enough for you to go broke. If you make 50K over there, your ass is gonna be eating bread with milk in the morning for breakfast, bread with milk in the afternoon for lunch, and bread with orange juice for dinner. That's gonna be your 3 meal plan. Willie Longshaft, Owen Wilson, the actor, pays $35,000 a month in child support. See? Imagine if you gotta pay that much money a month for child support and you done blew your fortune. But he pays $38 a month based on how much money he generates. Because you know that child support is based on how much you generate. So he's making good money. William P., I fell asleep. I'm back though. What's up, William P.? Now, we've been talking about how athletes go broke, how they don't invest their money, how, they just spend it the way that they do. Boss for game. It's rare when boxers can make a living off of boxing, but the very small percentage of boxers, Canelo, Crawford, Usyk, just like Mayweather said, hard work and dedication. That's facts. But it's like we were saying earlier, a high percentage of boxers end up broke. And they end up broke because they only focus on spending the money. And they don't really invest or make good investments or get people involved so that they can invest the right way. Sometimes people want to invest with their friend from the hood. Oh, I got this business idea. Bro, you never had a business in your life. What idea you got? That happens a lot. People go broke also because they're investing with people that don't even know how to invest. Boss for game. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's only the big names, the big stars that's making millions of dollars. And look, there's guys who living off of boxing without having such a big name simply because they signed a nice promotional deal. So, and they got sponsors that are paying them nicely to promote their brand. So that's another way to make good money. But again, your sponsors have a contract with you that's going to last X amount of time, whether it's 2 years, 4 years, whatever. And you're going to be making those nice checks, but eventually those checks are going to stop. They're not going to sponsor you forever unless you're some type of superstar. So again, you cannot waste your money based on, oh, I'm getting a lot of money, so I can waste a lot of money. That mindset had people going broke. John Parham, Charlie Sheen paid $100K a month for 2 kids. Shit. But Charlie Sheen got money. He could pay that. Hopefully he don't blow it. William P. Man, my own homeboy, Jamel Artis, very close friend, plays basketball right now overseas and got drafted by Orlando Magic. Bro, and I kid you not, told my bro but had a gambling problem and lost $200K in one night. And gambling is no joke. Gambling is no joke. I got a friend, listen, since you mentioned that, let me tell you, I got a friend who has a nasty gambling problem. And one time we went I only went to a casino one time. Ever since I met him, one time. He was like, yo, Jay, come with me, please, please. I was like, okay, let's go. We go to the casino. Watch this, my peoples. He tells me, look, Jay, I'm only going to spend this $200 right here. That's it. Once I spend this $200, if I lose it, we out of here. Yo, with $200, he was already up in blackjack. He was already up to $25,000. With 200, he was up 25,000. And guess what? I was like, bro, let's get the hell out of here. You got him for 25. Let's go, my guy. You got him. And he like, yo, Jay, let me get to 30. Once we get to 30, we out of here. From 25, he goes down to 20. I'm like, bro, let's get out of here. You still got 20. You 20 up with just $200. Let's go. Jay, come on, I could do it. Yo, let me just get it right back to 25. Once we at 25, we out of here. I'm like, bro, let's go. He's down to 18. He's down to 17. He's down to 15. Now he's telling me, yo, Jay, listen, let me just get back to that 20 and we out of here. Let me just get my money back. I'm like, bro, we started at $200. You got 15. Let's go. He's back down to 10. Back down to $5,000, my peoples. From 25, he's already back down to 5. And I'm still trying to convince him, let's get out of here. He's like, yo, let me just try to get this money back, Jay. Before you know, he's at $2,000, $1,000. The bottom line, my peoples, the bottom line, at the end of it all, he was like, yo, Jay, let me borrow $500. I got you. Let me borrow $500. Bro, that day, I, in my pockets, had $600. And I gave him the $500. He lost the $500. And he wanted to take the last $100 that I had. Yo, let me get that $100, Jay. You know I'm good for it. I got you. I'm like, hell fucking no, nigga. I'm mad as hell. You blew the money that you had. You lost my $500. And now you get the hell out of here. I literally had to force him out of that casino into his car so we could leave. And I was mad as hell. So that's what a gambling addiction does. They want a little bit more. And then when they start losing, they're like, let me make that back at least. Bro, from $200, he went up to $25,000. He lost the $25,000 and lost my $500. That's when I knew how big this guy's problem was. Like, oh, shit, man. No wonder this guy's always talking about the casino, always want to go to the casino. This how he be doing it, huh? LLYY, gambling broke you mentally before breaking you financially. I'm trying to tell you, gambling, when people are addicted to gambling, it's crazy to see how it go. Willie Longshaft, Ray Whitaker, richer than me. Trying to tell y'all, my peoples, gambling is not a game. MAW, past midnight here in Australia. I gotta get some sleep in before work. Later, gang. MAW, appreciate you dropping in, my peoples, and you already know, man. Salute to everyone in Australia. See you tomorrow, my brother. But yeah, my people, that gambling stuff, man, that's no joke. That is no joke. People go broke all the time. I seen people in a casino literally gambling the papers to their car. Like, yo, here's the paper for my car. Let's do this now. Take their chain off their neck. Take the Rolex off and lose it right there in the casino. Willie Longshot, 1540 here in Scotland. Ooh, I didn't know you was in Scotland, my brother. LLYY, how do you decide your weight division? I mean, weight division is based on your size, your body frame. What weight can you make? Fighters always go for the lowest weight that they could possibly make. Simple as that. The lowest that you can possibly make, that's your weight class. That's pretty much how it is. You see guys that, think about it. You see guys in boxing who their walk-around weight is 180 pounds. Yet they fight at welterweight. They even fight at lightweight. Be walking around. Tank Davis used to be walking around 160, 170. Fights at 135. So basically your weight is the lowest weight that you can make. That's what I would say. But my peoples, again, we did digress. I'm going to repeat it. I believe that Brian Norman Jr. is ready to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. I honestly want to see that fight. I hope, if Boots beats Stanionis, that him and Brian Norman Jr. can do it later this year. I definitely want to see that fight. William Zepeda defended his title successfully versus Tevin Farmer. Him and Shakur also should mix it up next. Go ahead, Shakur. Put the beating on that man already. It's been long overdue. Oscar De La Hoya needs to make that fight happen. And Mikaela Meyer, who successfully defended her title yesterday. Like I told you, that was going to be a war. That was going to be a slugfest. Mikaela did it convincingly. I hope that, next up, she's going to get another big name and do what she does. Do what she does, my people. Before I end this live, as always, I want to give a shout out to John Parham. Shout out to LLYY, Willie Longshaft, MAW, William P. I appreciate you, my peoples. Y'all already know what it is. Boss for Game in the building. And we're going to do it 9 tomorrow. We're going to go live. We're going to, break down these 3 fights, what actually happened, what we saw. And y'all already know how we do it, my peoples. Let me get a little something from my Instagram. And let me know, man, what fight, my people. I hope you guys enjoy the way that I was calling the fights yesterday. I'm giving you the play-by-play. LLYY, here before 1 million subscriptions. You already know it, my brother. That's the one thing right now that I have, 1,000 Sun subscribers. A lot of you, I'm always going to know you because you're the guys who came through before this thing exploded. When it gets to the point where you got 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, you don't know everybody because it's too many. But you guys who've been supporting me from the beginning, I really appreciate y'all, man. You guys are the ones that are pushing for this to happen. You guys are the ones that I'm doing it for, that's rocking with me. And y'all gonna see, man, we only going up. We only gonna keep going up. Here we go. So again, my peoples, I appreciate everyone tuning in. I appreciate you guys showing the love. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you hit that like button. Share this content with everybody. Let them know Box Center is your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. We headed for number 1. So you're right, LLYY. You're here before the 1 million subscriptions because we headed for the million. That's what it's going to be about. Again, like I said, man, Sandy Ryan and Mikaela Meyer, that was a war. Mikaela Meyer, successful in her title defense, did it convincingly. Brian Norman Jr., devastating knockout. That was just quite brutal. And, of course, we saw William Zepeda beat Tevin Farmer. So let's see what this is going to end up. Is William Zepeda finally going to end up fighting Shakur Stevenson? Stop ducking. Oscar De La Hoya, make it happen. My peoples, y'all already know what it is, man. I'm going to be uploading some more videos today, some more shorts. So check those out. And this video right now is also going to be uploaded on there. So you already know what it is, my peoples. I'm Jay Smith. This is Box Center. This is your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. I'm getting the hell out of here, my peoples. Salute. Bam. Peace.